Yep, you heard that right. No amp needed. This is the Enya Nova Sonic Go. And it's the guitar that everyone's talking about on social media, and it's going super viral. But as always with these things, I don't trust anything I see on social media. So let's look at this together and make up our own mind about it. Let's do it. Just before we get started, guys, a bit of housekeeping. Yes, Enya reached out to me and said, do you want to try this? And I felt like I was the only person on the internet who hadn't tried one. But remember, they didn't tell me or ask me to say anything. I said yes because I feel like this, one, could be very interesting for you guys, and two, because I really want to know whether all those other guys on the internet are talking. Just bear that in mind. This guitar, currently at the time of this video, goes between £400 and $450 depending on the finish, where you get it, whatever. Like with most of the Enya guitars, this thing is all carbon fiber. There is no wood. It's all carbon fiber. The fretboard, neck, body, the whole lot. According to Enya's website, it's built like a tank, it's lightweight and thin, water and weatherproof, and it's ready for adventure. As usual in my videos, let's start out with the construction and the specs. The body is 100% made of a carbon fiber composite. Now, I've read on various YouTube videos, people saying, oh, it's just 1% and the rest is plastic. How the hell do you know that? If the company says that, I'm in no position to disagree. It is overall a fairly light guitar. In the official specs, it says they are all 6 pounds in weight, so we should take that for granted. Oh, hang on, we can actually measure that. Let's do it together. Let's tie it around here and see what it weighs. Are you ready? Are you steady? Let's go. Yep, it's fixed. And the reading, my friends, is 6.2. So, fairly close. Although it has a traditional kind of single cut style, the body is super thin and very well rounded. Apparently the body is 2.25 inches deep, and yeah, that looks about right. Very comfortable actually. Really nice body. I like the contours, everything is very, very smooth. Really comfortable handshake here, very nice. So getting to those upper frets feels really easy. Not that I go up there. Moving to the neck, as we said, carbon fiber neck, carbon fiber fretboard, traditional frets, and I've got to say, they are cut really, really well. There's no sharp fret ends, feel quite smooth, no grittiness, fairly nice shine to them. So overall, nice fretboard and nice frets. What is really cool, which you don't see that often, is the so-called zero fret, which in theory should help with tuning stability, intonation in those first chords, and also make it slightly easier to get those cowboy chords on. So very cool that they continue this, because they also had a zero fret on their carbon acoustic guitars. You can watch the video of the one I reviewed here, and I thought it worked really well. In terms of neck profile, not quite what most of you expected, I think. It's an asymmetrical neck, so it goes from, I believe, a C to a V, and first impressions actually may feel slightly chunky up here, but once you get used to it, I have no problems with this. It's nice and chunky, you get some meat around your paw. Finally, at the bottom of the neck, you've got the truss rod wheel adjuster here, which is super, super cool. Now, a question I've got, and I don't know whether you guys may agree, Is it necessary to have a truss rod in a carbon fiber neck? Some of my techie friends might know the answer to that, but regardless, as any truss rod, what it allows you to do is make it flatter or with a bit more relief, so overall changing also how close your strings are and how comfortable your action is. Now where things get really complicated is the electronics, because there's a lot of them. If you take this backplate off, you will find a computer in there or something like that. There's a lot of electronics in there. On the more traditional side, what you have is 2 humbucker pickups, an Alnico 2 and an Alnico 5 pickup. So not ceramic, Alnico 2 and 5. Very cool. I like the way they've mounted these on the body. Essentially what you have is the 2 screws. The pickup cover comes off very easy because it's held by 2 magnets. Very resistant at the same time, but a great idea. I like that. Then moving on, you have a single on-off button which you press, and this controls all your electronics here. So as usual with Enya, this goes hand in hand with the app, and we'll look at the app very briefly in a little bit. But essentially, it acts as a volume for the effects, but also if you press it once, it goes through the 4 banks that you have. From factory, it comes with a clean, overdrive, distortion, and heavy, whatever that is. Then here you have your standard 3-way LP type switch and a single volume knob. This is though a push-pull for the neck pickup only, and according to the specs it puts it in series or in parallel and does give you a little more variety to the sound. Just to note again, this does absolutely nothing if you're in the bridge position. First obvious elephant in the room, there's no tone. No tone on the guitar. It is what it is. Now to the main money shot. These funky holes here are a incorporated 10-watt speaker. Guitars with inbuilt speakers and effects are actually nothing new. They were around for a long time, starting from the 60s. Various different kind of exotic brands, Vox, etc. all had guitars with speakers in them. So the concept is really not new. It's cool though to see it in a more modern looking guitar maybe. In terms of connections and tech bonuses, what you have is a USB-C connection. You can link this directly to your Mac or PC and use it as a audio interface as well. That's pretty cool. Then you have a standard boring old fart guitar cable input. And then you have an earphone out for, guess what? Silent practice. As soon as you plug in any of these, the speaker will cut off and it will be completely silent. All you will hear is the guitar going through the DSP chip inside the electronics compartment, and then you can just toggle between the 4 different types of sounds. Traditional Tunematic style bridge, string through body construction. Overall, in terms of aesthetics, this comes in a number of finishes: whites, black, I think blue. There's a purple burst or red burst as well. I'll link them all here. But overall, the paint job is really nice. The finish is matte, so feels very tactile. Looks really nice. All one piece the whole way down. As I said, feels fairly comfortable, whether playing sitting down or standing up. As you can see, no neck dive whatsoever. So that's really impressive. Okay, so when you get something like this, really it's all cool and fun to have all these specs and all these wonderful things. But if it kind of doesn't fulfill its purpose, i.e. being a guitar that you can play on and that is comfortable, then there's no point in buying it, right? So enough talking, let's hear what this thing can do. I think what we should do first is try it on, just this by itself, listening to the incorporated speaker. Now, obviously, guys, this is just being recorded with my room mics, so you won't get pro quality audio here, but hopefully it'll give you a good impression on what this sounds like through the incorporated speakers with just the normal presets that it comes with. After that, what I think we should do is 2 more things. One, we should use the USB-C, plug it into my Mac, straight, no audio interface, nothing, and see what that sounds like, again, by using just the onboard effects and amps. And third of all, because I'm a grumpy old bastard, let's just use it as a normal guitar and see what that sounds like. Okay, so as you can see, the guitar is now on. I've pressed the little button. There is nothing hooked up to it, so all you're gonna hear is the sound from the speaker. I've got the app going here just for your kind of reference. But to be honest, we're not going to spend too much time with it because there isn't that much to talk about. It's fairly standard, very, very simple to use. We're just on a preset that I've got going. Let's lift it up like that. What you will see is that you have essentially 2 amps to choose, a deluxe clean and 100 dist, whatever that is. So we're on the clean sound. Let's go through this first. Let's put the volume up so you guys can hear it properly. Neck pickup. Let's go to the middle position. The app has a few very basic effects. You have a 5-band equalizer, so you can just put it up and down as you wish. You have a modulation section. Right now I've got the trem on, but you can put a chorus, a vibrato, etc. You have a noise reduction, which is kind of cool to have because on the high gain stuff, you always need a noise gate. Then you've got a delay, which I've got on at the moment, and a reverb, which I don't. Let's put the reverb on. Volume works fairly well. Let's go to the overdrive section. Come on, little phone. So again, we're on the deluxe clean here, but we are kind of pumping that volume, which I guess is the preamp. I don't want the modulation. Let's get rid of that modulation and get rid of that. No, that's not how you do it. There you go. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's go to the distortion section and see what that sounds like. Now in the distortion, obviously we are now on the 100 dist amp and everything's more or less in the middle. Let's check it out. Wow, volume's gone down. Let's put that back up. Okay, let's now go to the final one, which is the high gain. wasn't actually expecting it to be that loud. So, as I said before, let's try something else now. What we're going to do is get my USB cable, plug it straight in. Let's just go through the same 4 presets, but this time just listening through the audio coming through the USB straight into my session in Reaper. Go to the overdrive. Okay, so the final part of our sound demo is just to use it as a quote-unquote normal guitar. So I've got it plugged in through the jack and I'm going through my audio interface and I've got a session in Reaper and I've just loaded a really cool plugin by Namrini Auto, which is the MP1. And let's just play around with it and see what it sounds like as a normal guitar. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed those sound samples. Now, as usual with my videos, let's start wrapping this up. And first of all, we'll talk about the pros and cons. Second, who this weird guitar is for. And third of all, in case you guys care, my final thoughts. So first of all, let's start with the pros because I am a positive person and it's a beautiful world out there. I had no idea what I was getting into when I decided to test this guitar. And look, as you all know, these guitars with amps included or speakers included have been around for a long time, so it's not a revolutionary idea despite what everyone says. But I have to say, this one is really, really well done. First and foremost, it actually is a good guitar, excluding all this electro mumbo jumbo stuff. It just plays well, it's comfortable. I've grown like the neck, it's smooth, it stays in tune really well. I don't know whether it's the 0 frets or the good hardware. It has the basics of good electric guitar. And I think that's something when people try to change things, they kind of forget to get the basics right. And this has all the good basics. The body is super comfortable, no neck dive. I've been playing it a lot. I just think it's a good guitar. The pickups, passive pickups, they sound good just as passive pickups. I really like that they went the Alnico route. These are classical Alnico 5 and 2, great combination. You get those sweet tones in the neck, you get that bite in the bridge. So really good as a guitar, which is what it's supposed to be. Second of all, if we do want to talk about the speakers, look, this thing is so damn loud. I was not expecting it to be this loud and actually this kind of cool to play in a room or in the bathroom or outside, wherever you are, because maybe it's the quality of the actual speaker, maybe it's just the way it's mounted, but it kind of sounds 3D. You don't really know where that sound is coming from. I think it just bounces off the walls. It's a really decent speaker. I found that the cleans sound surprisingly good and the distortions through the speaker sound just as good as any of those little portable speakers that you can buy. I don't think there is that much to complain about, to be honest, about the sound quality coming through the guitar. Third of all, as I said, the fit and finish is really good on this guitar. It's just well built, great attention to detail. The paint job is really good. There's no smudging over the fret end. Very, very good fit and finish. I think some of the super expensive brands made in the USA may learn a little from this because yes, it's made in China, but you can tell that it's done with care. My final and possibly my most important pro, and this is something that I also said when I reviewed the Nova Go, the acoustic carbon fiber one, it just makes you play more guitar, and that's the number one thing. Sometimes you don't want to play acoustic, you just want to rock out, but bringing that amp or bringing that little speaker with you around, the extra cable, who gives a crap? This solves it all. You just sit in front of the TV and rock the hell out. It's so much fun. It just makes you play more. If you're going camping, if you're going to the beach, whatever you want to shred, you can do it. So for me, biggest pro of this guitar is definitely the fact that it makes you play more, it makes you enjoy the instrument, it makes you have fun, and it actually brings joy to whatever you're doing. So anything that makes you play more guitar, I'm 100% for. And now, my friends, let's move to the cons. There's a few things here that obviously we can mention. There's no doubt the app is very basic. The app is simple, very straightforward. There's 2 amps to choose. The sound quality is not going to rival a Helix or a Kemper or an Axe FX or whatever it is. So if you're going for this just because of the kind of app and the back end of it, then you just need to be aware that it's reasonable. I've heard worse in terms of modeling, but it's not the highest level, and to be expected if you're paying a whole £400 for a guitar and software. Second of all, this is a very personal thing, but I can see some people not getting on with the neck shape, maybe not finding it fast enough, maybe finding it a little too chunky. It's not the thinnest necks, it's not what you'd kind of expect on a super shreddy Ibanez or something. So if you're a traditionalist that way, boo, then maybe not for you. My third and final con is obviously linked also to the fact that these things have a battery in it. They have a battery life. Now, it says it's 10 hours. I'm a little doubtful on that. But look, even if it just lasts 2 hours full blast, it is what it is, right? Worst case scenario, you plug it in and use it as a normal guitar. The battery life, like with electric cars, is always going to be one of the things holding back these technologies. Now let's move on to who this is for, because this is particularly relevant to this guitar. I think if you are stuck on a mountain, want to play guitar, have no amp, whatever it is, this is perfect. If you're a beginner, I would have killed for this when I first started. I had no idea what amp to buy, what this to buy, what pedal, whatever. This does it for you. It's so simple. You put it on the app, you plug it, you can play in front of the TV, not annoy your neighbors. You know what? You've got that guy in the dorm room that is knocking on your door. Just put your headphones in. You don't need any of that other crap. If you're someone who travels a lot, I also think this is such a cool idea. Just bring this, and whether you're at the back of a bus, you're in a hotel room, whatever, super simple. You can still keep your shred on. If you're a beginner, if you're an intermediate, if you're someone who wants to have a good sounding, good playing guitar, this will make it a lot easier for you to play because the action is incredibly low. I have not done anything to this guitar. It came out from the factory, set up really low, really well. You can intonate it perfectly. The tuning stability with these unbranded, or I guess Enya branded tuners, is really good as well. So there's nothing wrong with this guitar. And I think a lot of the reviews online kind of spend too much time with the novelty factor. But overall, it's just a good guitar. Okay guys, so now it's time for those final thoughts. My overarching feeling of this is that it's fun. It made me enjoy playing guitar. It made me have fun whilst I was doing it, trying it in different places, around the studio, in the house. You can play along with someone who's playing an acoustic guitar with this, no problem. It sounds great. If you're a busker, holy, this is perfect for you. Sounds really cool. Hopefully they'll develop it further. Hopefully they'll put additional amps, additional effects on there. But for the moment, it's just an enjoyable thing. And it's just something that I think is good to see. Companies just doing something a little different, bringing an old idea back to life to a new generation and doing it affordably because it's a reasonable price for what you get. My biggest question for you is, where the hell does this leave us with the Tonewood debate? I don't know. For you guys to answer. Let me know in the comments, guys. Thank you so much, as usual, for watching. I do really appreciate it. Let's just keep doing what we're doing. Be nice, as always, in the comments. Don't fight. Let's all be nice to each other. It's a beautiful world. There's loads of horrible things happening out there. So just enjoy yourself and enjoy the people that you love. As always, thank you so much for watching, guys. Please like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Let me know what you guys think about this carbon fiber guitar. I'll see you soon.